NBA, playing professional basketball, traveling the world is glamorous. And it is to a point, but it's there when you're playing that game, but you're only playing that game for an hour and a half, and everybody cheers for you, but then you gotta go back to your hotel room by yourself. And it's just not what it's cracked up to be. And Anthony, thanks for sharing that about growing up. And adversity is so much part of our lives. And maybe you could comment on that too a little bit about, has there been adversity that you had to deal with, and how did you overcome it?
You know, my story is probably a little bit different than Anthony because, you know, I keep talking about my dad, and don't get me wrong, my mother was remarkable. You know, my mother was everything, a nurturer, hard worker. She put a lot of the discipline in terms of the education and how to treat women. And just a phenomenal woman, but my dad was, and I keep saying was, he's still living, but he just had a remarkable way of communicating with me as a youngster. You know, my father was a Marine, a Green Beret, Vietnam vet, and a warden in prison. And this man just was so humble and so just always was honest, even when it made him look crazy. You know, he always allowed me to have a talk with him when he didn't feel like being bothered. He never showed it. You know, he was just a man of valor and was very, very well read. And when he talked to me, he always gave me different scenarios about how to deal with situations in life. And one situation in my life that really, I wouldn't even be here today if he didn't, you know, come at me in the way that he did. I was 12 years old, and I was real good in baseball, and I was real good in football. And it was a two-part scenario. I played baseball the year before. We was 2 games from getting to the Low League World Series. And I was the only 11-year-old on the 11-12 team. And after that, I was like the senior person going into that season. So we had a new coach, and we were 0-13. And at the time, my father started working 3 to 11 at the prison. So I didn't have him with me hands-on. I had to wait till he got off and that kind of thing. And at the time, the coach was real hard on him. And you know, you kind of smell yourself when you're good if you don't get somebody to keep you grounded. So I was upset, and I was telling the story to my father. And my father said, "Son, let me explain something to you. You need to understand that you're never bigger than the game. You're never bigger than people. What your coach told you to do, you need to go to him, become a better teammate, lead your team, stay with them after practice, and motivate them, and be the leader that you're supposed to be. Stop complaining." So what happened, we won. We wound up winning the championship the second half, and then we went one game from winning the Low League World Series.